I'm Bill.
And I'm Candace.
And we're the Disruptors.
Hey, welcome to the show, Bill.
Well, it's nice you could make it as always. You've always, brighten up the room.
I do. I can't help myself. I'm amazing that way.
Well, let's discuss that. How
you don't like
amazing
the
you
corner
could
that
be.
I got painted in now?
No,
Okay.
I don't. No,
Well,
I don't.
we have, again...
we have the doctor
amazing...
in the house.
Yes, of course. He's
so
amazing.
let's just cut right through and let's get right to the program.
I'm thinking you should have like a theme music now for me.
I think so too.
I do. I'll have to put Bill right on it.
Like Crazy Train, or maybe She Blinded Me with Science. She blinded me with science.
Hey, that would be fun. Bill, can you find that?
Well, I found yours. I could probably find that. Yours was pretty easy to find. It was Looney Tunes, and it was on my phone.
No, it was not.
And it was really easy to find. And
Maybe today we should actually have relax. Relax.
Oh, there we go. I like that.
For heart health and everything.
For heart health.
For heart health.
Yes.
We're going to discuss today why you don't have a heart.
I do have a heart.
Well, we want to make sure
and
that
I have a healthy, yummy heart.
Sure. Good. Well, I'm so excited that you have a yummy heart. That's wonderful.
I'm trying to figure out how you know you have a yummy heart.
That's what we'd like to know, too.
It's still working, so...
It's really yummy.
So talk to us. I don't want to ask like how important a heart is, but a heart does many things. It just doesn't pump blood. I mean, that's the no-brainer, right? That's
sure.
Okay. So why don't you dive in and tell us in a nutshell, what does a heart really do?
Well, a heart is a really fascinating indicator of health or not health, and it's related to so many conditions. We've talked about diabetes in the past, and long-term diabetes is inevitably going to be a heart issue. Most disease conditions are heart issues too. So as a disease progresses through, let's just say, the beginning stage, which is lymphatics, I don't feel good, off and on, not doing so well, and then it progresses into the organ systems themselves, and now we have, let's say we have a pancreas now not doing so well. And so the pancreas is now going down further and further, and what it really needs is direct blood flow. It needs that healing potential. And if the heart cannot supply it because of nutrient deficiencies in the system that we'll get to, we now have this system going down, and now we affect the muscle system. That's the third system to go down. We'll have aches and pains. The fourth system will be then the circulatory system in the heart. And so once somebody has a heart problem, we are really deep into situations. Mm-hmm. We don't just have a heart problem, but we have a global problem.
Sure.
Because the last system is coming up that's going to be affected, and that's the nervous system.
So the first system is... Lymphatics. The second system...
are the organs themselves.
Third
is muscle.
Fourth?
Heart and circulatory system. And then last is the brain and nervous system.
Wow.
Oh, the last one we'd have to work on.
I like the way you did that, because it actually made it very simple.
Yeah, it did. Very understandable.
So let's say somebody comes in with, they got numbness. Well, that's a neurologic thing. Let's say it's long term. They're going to tell me, well, yeah, I've also had muscle soreness and spasms or aches and pains, and my back goes out or my neck goes out or whatever. I get leg cramps or whatever it is. And I mean, they're just painting the picture of all these other conditions and systems that are down too.
Sure.
And so most conditions, once they get there, are like, well, I got to do something about it. But they come and go. And so we're really not willing to do something until, we're knee deep in symptoms that we just don't want to handle anymore.
Right.
So I love that, and I don't want this to be affronting to the people out there, but technically there's a scale that we put together, and I don't think I've ever talked to you guys about this. Between a scale of 1 to 10, people are on let's say, a health journey or have the importance of health.
Okay.
So most people are what we call a 4 on a scale of 1 to 10, health-wise. They value their health as a 4.
So they're really in the middle of the road on this.
They are.
Okay.
And so people go, what do you mean a 4? I'm not a 4. I said, well, if you know you have a problem and you're not willing to do anything about it, you're a 4. Mm-hmm. The moment it's bad enough and you're like, okay, this is ridiculous. I'm now going to seek some type of health care provider or do something different. They just became a 5.
Wow.
Okay? So from a 5, if they actually start to do something about it and they've actually done what a doctor says and they've improved something and they feel better, they're now a 6. Okay, they've actually done something and they've actually gone a different place and now they're holding it. If they want to maintain that condition and not fall back down to that 4, that becomes what we would call maintenance. So let's say somebody goes to the gym and they get back their physique,
Okay.
you know, and they're tired of being flabby, and they go to the gym. The moment they walk in the gym, they're a 5. The moment they start working out, they've gone more than a month, they're a 6. You know, they're doing something actively. The moment that they've got to where they really want to be, and they're like, you know what, I think I'm just going to work out, you know, every other day for 20, 30 minutes and just maintain what I have. I don't need to go any further. I like where I am. And so they've become the 7. They've maintained that. 8s will now actively look for new things. Hey, you know what, I think I'm going to start doing that low-carb diet. Or I think I'm going to start doing some fermented foods. I think I'm going to do some vitamin supplements. They now become an 8.
I love fermented foods.
I do too. I have kombucha all the time.
Fermented.
Fermented. It's really good for you.
Is that like apples and stuff, and after they're through the squeezer and you
Kind
drink it kind of like that?
Now you're talking about wine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
know.
Or
Okay.
hard cider.
Oh, hard cider, yeah. I wanted something nice and fermented.
Indeed, but you eat cheese, and that's fermented.
See, yeah. I can eat cheese all day and still walk straight line.
So to finish off our list, here's how our audience will know who a 9 is. You'll go into their house and you open up their cupboards, and they've got pill bottles upon pill bottles upon pill bottles of nutrients that, you know, they've read on, and they're just shotgun approach, you know, they're just going to do everything, and they'll take it for a couple of days, and then they stop taking it.
I know those people.
Yeah, those are 9s. They have no, they just want to do it, but they don't have any kind of direct path. They don't have a step-by-step approach to becoming healthy. Now the 10s, they have a step-by-step approach. They're organized, they know where they're going, and they know how to do it, and they're going to get there. And so, am I interested in taking people to a 10?
Yeah.
I'm really not. I'm interested in getting them to a 7 to where they want to maintain a better existence. And then if they decide, you know what, I think my journey is to go up one notch, and I think I'm interested in doing other things. Okay, great, go to an 8. And then if they get there a while and they're like, all of a sudden they're like, I'm just totally immersed in this whole health thing, and now I'm just going to do everything. They become a 9. And eventually they come out of that 9, hopefully, and they have this organized pathway of what they want to do. And so that's where I come in to help them get that organization.
What about these guys that you always see them alongside the road? Because I drive over 1 or 2 of them a week at least. And they're jogging. These old guys that are 40 and 50 jog. Doesn't that screw up the heels and screw up the bone structure?
You pointed to your knee.
Well, it's
Are you
close
confused
enough.
what joint you're talking about here?
Probably so. Thanks.
Okay,
I didn't know.
I'm just
I
wanting
missed it.
I'm just wanting our listeners to
You-
understand
you-
what I'm dealing with here in the studio.
You do understand that we're not video. This is audio, and they couldn't see me pointing.
I know, that's why I
You got
wanted
that?
to
Okay.
say that.
Very good. Wonderful. Anyway, doesn't that mess up the structure of your body after a while, pounding on the pavement?
You know, that's a loaded question, because ultimately the answer is no, and it is yes.
Oh.
So I do want to finish up before people are wondering, what about the 3s, 2s, and 1s on
Oh,
this list
I'm
of 1
sorry.
to 10? And so I just want to finish up the briefly. 3s are what we call the gross unconsciousness in our society. So their poster child is the 20-something female that has a child. She's pushing in a stroller that's, let's say, 18 months, and they complain, and so she puts a can of Coke, she opens it up and pours it into a bottle, screws the cap on, and gives it to them, you know, and they're going to nurse on a bottle of Coke. She doesn't understand a good health decision from a bad health decision. It doesn't even compute. That's the 3s. The 2s are the active bingers. You know, they're gonna, hey, I don't have a problem. I'm not an addict. I just binge on the weekends. You know, I get wasted for 2 days straight and I can't see straight, but I'm back to work on Monday. The 1s are actively doing something to destroy their health day after day after day. They're the people that live in a bottle, that are on the street, that are, you know, we see those people. I don't see them in my office frequently. And so those are, you know, I say that's, I don't say that to be rude, but I just say that's the reality of it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, what are we going to value and what are we going to do? And the people that live on the street, with another talk, we could talk about what they're up against, and what the challenge is, and what their mentality is, because I've spent time with those kinds of people. And you know, it's fascinating, the psychology that's going on there, and it's a different problem altogether that we can certainly get into and divulge at another time. But as we move back up that chain and we say, okay, we've got some people out there that realize, hey, maybe I've got some heart problems. Maybe I've now got some joint problems because I'm trying to run, I'm trying to get in good shape, but it's destroying my body. And the reason that it does destroy people's bodies as they exercise is because we commonly mistake in our society that fit is synonymous with health.
You're right. We do.
Well, balance out, yeah.
do.
And it means nothing. How many triathletes will die of a heart attack in this next year?
Probably a few, probably.
A lot. And what they're not doing is they're not taking care of their body in a nutritional facet to repair faster than they are tearing down. And in that tearing down process, they don't know what's happening until all of a sudden something insidious now erupts as a heart that goes bad, and they collapse and die on the road, running a race. And it's not infrequent. You know, most of them do have some idea that, hey, there's some sort of nutrition that I do need. But for those out there that are running and doing things, if you don't have somebody who is truly in the know about nutrient levels for the human body and the demands of really high performance athletes, I'm just going to give you a gift and say, if you aren't taking some form of whole food, vitamin C and vitamin E, which are the two biggest banes of the high performance athlete, there's a lot of other things, but those are at least the biggies for tearing down the vascular system, the heart, most of the organ systems, repairing the adrenals under the immense stress of athletic performance and competition. I mean, you were destroying yourself. And so,
what are some signs that, for the inexperienced person can pay attention to their body, but yet, present to how their body works? What are some signs that they might need to pay attention to?
There's a lot of them, and they're slow and they're progressive. I did a talk last night, and we talked about sleeping. When we're young, we go to bed and we pretty much sleep all the way through the night. And then all of a sudden, somewhere along the way, we woke up once. And then it happened again and again. And now I'm waking up once a night to go to the bathroom, and then it's 2 times a night. And then it's 3 times a night. And I just think that's normal. And we don't realize that is not normal. Your kidneys should be dormant at night. The liver shouldn't be nudging them when it's cleaning at night to help prepare us for the next day. It shouldn't have to wake the kidneys up to say, hey, you need to help me again. And so the kidneys start filtering, groggily so, but they start filtering, and now they fill up our bladder and we have to wake up to go to the bathroom. That's not supposed to happen. It's a little thing, but it's a big thing.
Right.
The afternoon fatigue a little bit. Kind of a little tired after lunch. Oh, I guess I just overate a little bit, or I didn't get enough sleep last night. There's another clue that things are happening. Running from one thing to another, realizing your life is completely filled and you don't have any time left again. That's not healthy. It's not who we should be. There's the indigestion that's happened. Well, gosh, I'm burping a lot more. I'm farting a lot more. Whatever it is.
Sure.
I noticed that I now have to stay away from those foods. I don't have any digestive issues. I just don't eat those foods.
Yeah, no problem. Just don't eat them.
That's a great way of putting it.
Well, that's great.
What happens if you eat those foods?
I've got problems. We got a lot of problems.
So I don't eat those because I don't want problems.
Well, I have no problems at all.
But I don't have any digestive problems.
None whatsoever.
I'm fine.
I run upstairs and I get winded, but I don't have a problem.
Don't be staring at me. I get winded just sitting here thinking what's going to be making me winded. Well, that's wonderful. So when we actually, for heart health, then we should be looking at nutrition, the right type of exercise program to a certain degree.
To a certain degree, yes.
And we should be able to figure out where we want to balance out in life, I guess, what we expect and how we... I always like to say we are the masters of our own body, so we know how our body feels.
Sure.
So to get to a level point where we know we're actually enjoying life and healthy.
Yeah. What would probably be a great talk to do next time, we'll write this down, is to do a 6 pillars.
6 pillars?
So 6 pillars we'll kind of delve into a little bit heavier about what really produces a healthy body. Because on the 6 pillars of health, exercise doesn't exist.
Holy
I know that
smoke.
will shock people. And maybe some exercise physiologists out there and some cardio doctors and things like that would say that, don't listen to this quack. But ultimately, I tell people, if you are